Alpha King. It's nighttime. We out here in Arizona, and you already know I'm with the man himself, Haitian Rick, the boss. You know what I'm saying? We here right now. Obviously, we're here on a big occasion, right? Just pan the camera. Just look what we got going on. Go ahead, show them what we got going on right now. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 cars sitting right here. And unfortunately, none of them are mine. Right? They're all this guy right here, man. So I appreciate you coming out, my G. You know what I'm saying? Now, yo, bro, I appreciate you, man. All right, my man. So now we over here with a beautiful background. This is sick. Yes. All right. So now, when we were speaking earlier, you said you're from the islands, right?
Yes, I'm originally from New York, but my family's from Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so Sapase.
There you go. I like that, man. See, I'm the island next door. I'm Jamaican, so we kind of.
Yeah, we're still brothers.
Yeah. We in the realm. We in the realm. That's dope. And I know Haitians have a huge community. Like, you guys are very family orientated, very to the point where you're bringing up your family as well.
Absolutely.
Did you deal with some of that as well? Like, do you have brothers, family?
Yes, I have a huge family base.
Yeah.
Okay, to the point where I could be walking out when I was living in New York. People come up to me and say they're my auntie and cousins. I'm like, I gotta call my mama and ask, who's this guy? That's how big my family is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'd be really blood relatives too. Yeah, so we have a big upbringing. We're very tight and close. The Haitian community is, I think, pretty unique. We look out for each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we stick with each other.
Yeah.
And we formed a big group called the Zoes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yes, I'm part of the Zoes. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? It's a family base. It's not game banging, nothing like that. It's a tight brotherhood that we created to stick together.
Yeah, man. No, I shoot a lot of my friends are Haitian, and they brought me in just like family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, tell me a little bit how your transition was. Obviously, growing up how you grew up, didn't have a lot. What led you to real estate? You said, right?
Yes.
What led you to that?
Well, my upbringing, it was. I could say I had a real good childhood. My own man did a real good job. May he rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
He looked up for my moms, my brothers.
Yeah.
But every day was not a good day.
Yeah.
We have our ups and downs that most common family does in the minority community.
Right.
So everything I have now is because of him, because I worked hard to attain that in my future, because I didn't want my kids to live the life I lived.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So I had a purpose to work hard for them and make sure they have I can give them the life that I couldn't do for myself.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? So what led me to the real estate market was actually by accident.
I feel like everyone says that. It just happens sometimes.
It was an accident. Because what happened was, listen to this, man, Alpha.
Yeah.
I remember I went to visit my family.
Yeah.
And this is Las Vegas now. Vegas, you know what I'm saying? And my dad asked me, son, can I talk to you real quick? What's up, Pops? Can you take your mom to this quick risk get scheme seminar she wants me to take her to?
Oh, get rich quick scheme.
Yeah. And I was like, I was young, and I said, Dad, I don't got time for that. I gotta go see my friends.
Yeah.
We're young, you just want to party, you know what I mean?
Right.
And he had to just do me this one favor, son, please. Don't make me go through that.
Yeah. I hear you.
So I said, okay, Dad, I got your back.
Yeah.
So I took my mom to there, because she wasn't really fluent in English.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to make sure I can turn it to her, she can understand what they're saying.
Gotcha.
My mom was a hustler, actually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's a hard worker, and I get that from her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I went there, and it was talking about how to get free money from the government, grant money to invest into real estate. And I was all ears.
Right.
So I learned, I heard what they had to say, and I looked at my mom, and I said, yo, Mom, I can do this.
Yeah.
It was like $1,000 to get the class.
To sign up, get the class.
Man, my book boy didn't have no $1,000.
Yeah.
I had $200 in my pocket.
Mm.
So my mom advanced me the rest, and I took the class, and to fast forward it,
Right.
a year later, I was heavy in the game of real estate.
Wow.
Yes, the first year I made, I could say, I'll put these numbers out here.
Right.
I'm blessed to be a rookie, and I was hungry.
Right.
And I made over $250,000
Right.
on my first year by using the
And how old were you this time?
At the time, I was like 23 years old.
Right.
23 years old, and I was working for the state, Nevada Power.
Okay.
Working for $16 an hour.
Mm.
I had a newborn, struggling,
Right.
and I went to this thing, and my mom invested into me, And a year later, it changed my life.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I just took it from there.
That's phenomenal to hear because so many times I'm talking to entrepreneurs and
Right.
their family typically goes the other way. They want them to just do the typical 9 to 5 or go to school, get an education, get a degree and kind of go from there. So
Right.
you're saying your mom invested into you. She saw it with you, saw your vision, believed in you,
Yes.
and went over from there.
Yes. And then, of course, you know what I mean? It was by accident.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I learned it, mastered it, and I helped my mom get profits herself.
Wow.
And she made money.
That's phenomenal.
And then after that, and just multiply it, you know, all the homies from the block
Right.
wanted to know what I was doing because I was driving Benzes and BMWs and had a huge house.
Yeah.
And you know, I went to visit the block, and, you know, my homies were like, man, put me on.
Yeah.
And so I put them on to some, you know, real corporate money
Right.
to how to do things right with their money.
Right.
So they all, a lot of my homies just became investors
There you go.
and followed my footsteps, and
Yeah.
I put the whole set on.
Right. So did you end up getting a brokerage, or you just?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Fast forward,
Mhm.
my mentors, she go ahead and left the brokerage, and she says, "Hey, Rick, I want to bring you along with me as a partner.
Mhm.
I want to open a franchise brokerage." And then I followed her to that, and then it went from 6 figures, and then now I became a millionaire by the time I was 25 years old.
I love that. I love that. So now, when it came to transition, now let's say we fast forward and you got the real estate thing down. You said earlier you make other investments. So what was your first investment after real estate? What came after that?
What came after real estate? Actually, I got involved into a commercial residential glass company.
Okay.
Okay, with a friend of mine that was his passion to do, and I represented him. I became a cam owner, and we was installing glasses on residentials like this in his garage.
Right.
We did anything with glass, customized with some glass cups.
Right.
Okay, so it was heavy in that too.
Right.
So no, real estate and glass came in hand in hand.
Right, of course. And that's what I love about it, because now you're going in a circle. You know,
Yeah.
you're going in a circle. Did you ever do like landlord where you rent out properties or Airbnb or how extensive into real estate?
Speaking of funny, you said that. Yes, I actually did. Okay,
Yeah.
that's actually, it was funny, as I was actually an investor first before I got my license to practice real estate.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I bought 3 properties within the first year.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then I liked it so much, I ended up going to school to get my real estate license and became a broker.
Wow. So you did it kind of reverse.
Yes.
Did it kind of backwards.
Absolutely, and then I ended up with 10 properties total.
Wow.
Yes. So yes, I have properties across the valley.
Right. So now when it came to getting here, right? Is this something that you always wanted to do? Because you mentioned earlier that you were driving Benzes and everyone always liked the cars, and I know we kind of like nice things.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
so that's our stuff, right?
Yes.
So this is kind of fun. It's not even really a job so much.
No, this is more as I love cars, man.
Yeah.
I just love cars, man. I was just really throwing my money away buying cars. I was treating cars like they were underwears.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? That can get really expensive.
Right.
The cars we like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I owned my first Bentley when I was 25 years old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then a year after that, I bought a Ferrari
Yeah.
at 26.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So I hit a friend, fast forward years later.
Right.
Okay. I was trying to buy a Maserati truck for my lady.
Mm.
And then my friend, you know, that does this type of business, already 16 years deep in Vegas, now he's in Miami now.
Right.
Okay.
It's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah, in the car business.
In the car business.
Yes. So he's like, let me teach you how to own a rental, it's our car rental company.
Mhm.
I'll hold your hand, I'll mentor you, and then you can drive anything you want, Rick. And make money doing it. Just turn your liability to an asset.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? That's just, don't say no, say less.
Right. So he taught you that game
Yes.
over and you went from there.
Yes, I'm totally grateful for that person. If you're hearing this interview today, salute, brother.
Salute that man. Let's cheers for him, man.
Yes,
Cheers for him.
salute. Yes.
So how did you end up in Arizona? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't think I was gonna see any Haitians in Arizona. I'm gonna tell you right now, like, hey, I walked in like, hey, I know him. I might be Mark, your cousin. So So how do you get to Arizona?
It's to go backwards, man.
Right.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with everybody in the here to know where I came a long way.
Right.
So you guys, back in late 2008, it was a big real estate crisis.
Correct.
Everywhere. Everybody was hurting.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So not just me, and thank goodness. I mean, but I lost everything. Everything. 10 houses, 5 cars.
Right.
$1 million custom home, $2 million liquor cash. Just it was a real bad time for me and everybody else.
So now, in 2008, when you lost that, how deep were you in to having money at this point?
I mean, I was so to put it like this, man. I was worth almost $10 million as a young kid.
Right.
I was deep in the real estate market.
Right.
And I was steady going up.
Right. And then 2008 happens.
2008 hit, and then everything was just evaporating.
So tell me your mindset at that time. When that all happened, you saw it crumbling and you worked that hard. Obviously, your mom gave you the money. She has a house now, making investments. You already got the cars. What state of mind were you in when you lost all that?
Well, of course, naturally, I'm a survivor.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was just trying to hustle by any means necessary. What I mean by hustle is legitly.
Right.
That key word, legitly. Okay. Yeah, legitly. I was just trying to find investors if they want to, buy into more properties. Try to look at the downside of my properties, I get some cash.
Right.
But of course, no banks were going out of business.
Right.
I mean, one by one every day.
I remember.
You remember that, right?
Yes.
So when I find somebody to buy properties to finance, then we could do it. The next day, bankrupt.
Yeah.
So I was trying to move properties. I remember thinking things were not moving. It was so new, I didn't know what a social was.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nobody didn't know what socials were.
No.
So I was trying to hold my properties, using my own money. Yes, my own money.
Tough.
You know what I mean? But of course, I didn't know better. I was young still.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you also weren't getting loans from the banks because they were scared to do any type of loans. Actually, as a matter of fact, as you obviously know, that's what messed up the market in the first place.
Absolutely.
Them over giving the loans to people who couldn't really afford it.
Man, yeah, you could have worked at a job that paid you $500 a week, the bank will give you $1 million loan. Anybody was approved.
Oh yeah.
But that never messed up the market.
Right.
So
Tell me where that transition went back. After 2008, what year are we in now that it transitioned back and now you're getting back on your feet?
I'm back a little bit because I want people to know, never be ashamed if you got to put table and food for yourself and your family. You know what I mean? Because just because you was here, don't mean you can take a few steps back to rebuild again.
Correct.
Once you have it, you can always get it back.
Of course.
So I had to go pick the 9 to 5. Wow. I want people to know that. Right. A 9 to 5.
Right. And where was this at?
Yeah, I mean, it was working for a timeshare company. I was on timeshares.
But you had your real estate license, so you were able to make a little.
Yeah. But at the time, you gotta understand, Alpha, real estate was not moving at all.
Correct.
Before the social, when the socials came, games was not moving properties. You know what I mean?
Right.
But before that, you know what I mean, I went to timeshare because I needed to stay in check.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was doing that for a while, so I saved my money. Okay, I was still making 6 figures.
Right. Timeshares.
Yeah, it was still good. And I went from 7 to 6, but still, you gotta understand, I had to help in my mind. To me, I was acting like this is nothing.
Yeah.
But of course, God was still putting food on my plate.
Right.
When everybody was struggling.
Right.
And I was still struggling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I went to timeshare, saved my money, hustled, and I was able to get back into the game of real estate and invest when the market got better.
Wow. So how long were you at that job then?
Timeshare, I would say, to be honest with you, man, it was a slow process.
Yeah.
I was in it for a good 5 years.
And you were on the front line?
No, actually, I was in the back in the marketing department.
Oh,
yes, I was in the marketing department.
Okay.
I mean, I was making good money doing the marketing.
Yeah.
I was the guy that would get you to go on a timeshare.
Yeah.
I'm giving you free tickets to go to movies.
Yes, yeah.
I was that guy. It was called OPC.
OPC.
Yeah.
I did the same thing.
You did it? Okay.
I was in Orlando doing it out of the big McDonald's on iDrive.
Really?
And I would sell people to get breakfast to go over there. So I know that one really.
It's not easy. It's not an easy job.
Especially when everybody's Brazilian. I ain't know no Portuguese. I was just like, listen, I'm black. Just go.
Let's go. I got your back.
Yeah,
I got your
free
back.
breakfast. Okay, so you're on that side.
Yeah, I was on that side.
Wow.
I did very well. Of course, you got to put my mind to. I want to maximize the potential of that job.
Correct.
So what I did, I really lived minimally.
Yeah.
so I can save money, so I can get back to my A game in the real estate market and reinvest my money. Once I reinvest into the real estate market, that's going to give me the funds to invest into other things to get back on top of the hill.
Man, that's awesome. So tell me what's the next goal? When you look at the next investment or the next opportunity, whether it be in this or whether it be something else that you're looking at. Because obviously the multiple streams of income is what is the best part.
Absolutely.
So what's your next big thing that you got planned? That you gotta do?
Well, the next big thing I got going on, man, I'm being honest with you, man, is of course is cars.
Right.
The love of cars, man. This is more fun. It's not even a job.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I love seeing people's faces when they come into the garage and they are just memorized and they pick the dream car.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I really get pleasure. You know, it's not really a job. It's more of a passion. It's more of a career. It's more of a business that you love doing. It's not always about money.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, the next thing I'm doing, of course, is always gonna be real estate.
Always.
Always, cars and real estate goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the next thing I'm gonna go ahead and get involved in is, of course, is trading. I want to know about trading.
You're in the right house for that. That's gonna have to be a whole nother interview. That's gonna be a whole nother interview.
Yeah, so it's trading.
Right. Trading's everything.
Yes.
I like that, man, because obviously I come from the finance background.
Okay.
So when I hear real estate and cars and things of that nature, obviously the trading aspect, that all goes hand in hand, and you're basically doing the full circle, the full circle of everything. So that's your next goal.
Yes.
So tell me the next car that you're adding to the fleet. How about that?
I'm gonna be honest. The next car's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be the Lambo truck,
Ooh.
the Lamborghini Urus,
Okay.
and along with that, it's gonna be the cousin, the Huracan,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite cars, the Huracan.
Oh man, you know what, man? You know I know that about you.
Yeah. I'm your cousin Mark.
Yeah, that's right. See, I know everything about you, brother. The ones in the family, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, so it's gonna be the guys. It's gonna be the Lambo truck. It's gonna be the Huracan. Also, I'm gonna give me another Ferrari also.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So those gonna be the three cars. So it's gonna be back to back.
You know, that's what I like about where you're coming from, because it's gonna be different for your kids now.
Yes.
Because they're at a standpoint where you were already kind of set the plate. But when it comes to people who came from the bottom, know both sides.
Yes, it does.
Right, and that's the part where it gets real interesting. Have you ever talked to an investor or a business partner or someone that you felt like didn't get where you were coming from, and maybe you didn't want to do business with them because of that?
You know what? Let me start to the newest developments. When I was trying to start Bawse Life,
Yeah.
I mean exotics, I got a lot of pushback. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
You know, you think a guy like me with my reputation and success rate and my hard work and hustling skills, people would just jump on the opportunity.
Right.
But it's funny is a lot of people don't have that vision that we got.
Yeah.
Even you could be swimming in money, you could be swimming in success, you could be swimming in whatever you're good at. But it's gonna be somebody that can still have doubt.
Right.
Because some of them, not you,
Right.
it's with them and them.
Correct.
You know, but a part being an entrepreneur is you see something before it happens.
Correct.
You feel it, you taste it, you smell it,
Right.
you see it,
Right.
it's in your gut, you know it's gonna be, you're gonna go hard at it and make it a success.
Yeah.
Some people they don't see that. It's either black or white.
Right.
So if people are going to it, if they can't touch it, feel it, this and that, they're out.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I got a lot of pushback. I had a few friends that jumped in and invested into the opportunity I gave them. They had faith in me.
Correct.
And those two, well, I say three,
Right.
they know who they are.
Right.
Okay? And they know whatever they need in the future, I'm going to take care of them.
Right.
Okay? But yes, Bawse Life was a hit.
Yeah.
Right away. We're only a 7-month-old company.
Right.
And we were seeing so many feedback, so many publicity.
Right.
This news channels hitting us up to do interviews.
Right.
Left and right.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm about to have an interview with Hip Hop Weekly magazine soon. Coming
It's
soon.
gonna be awesome.
That is gonna be great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's another level
Right.
of marketing.
Right.
Okay. It's funny. I just had another guy from Arizona magazine, I believe. Don't quote me on that.
Right.
That sent an email to my partner. They want to have an interview of the guy behind Bawse Life.
Wow.
So that just tells them that my name is getting out there big.
Correct.
Yes.